Hi, my name is Elise Crabtree, the founder of Wabi-Sabi Botanicals, also known as the Skin Shaman, and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be the first video in a series that I am doing on healing acne holistically. And if you're familiar with me, then you know that acne is a topic that's really near and dear to my heart. I have been on my own acne journey for many, many years. I used to have like the worst chronic severe cystic acne all over my jaw and my chin and my cheeks. And it was a really painful but learning experience for me. So over the past 5-6 years, I have picked up so much valuable information on my own journey, and I have a lot to share with you. So over the next 4 or 5 weeks, I am going to be releasing a series of blog posts and videos that just share with you what I've learned and really distill down all of the information that I've gathered, because I know there's so much out there. If you have looked up information about acne, about the causes of acne or how to heal it and how to improve your skin, then you know that there is just a plethora and abundance of information out there, and it can be really overwhelming. So I am distilling it down and sharing with you what has worked for me, what I have learned, and that's what we're going to be doing over the next 4 or 5 weeks. So very excited to share with you. So on that note, this is week 1, and today we're going to be talking all about the causes of acne. What is causing my acne? 6 things that cause chronic breakouts. So we're going to go through those things one by one. We're going to get to the nitty-gritty, the science behind it, so you can really pinpoint and get clear on what might be behind your chronic breakouts. When you can identify what is causing your breakouts, then you can begin to treat them and heal them and prevent them at the root cause, and hopefully find long-term lasting solutions so that you don't have to struggle with acne. So I'm excited to dive in. There is so much to share. What you think is causing your acne might not be what's causing it. So hopefully that's clear as we get into it today. But with that being said, welcome to the Skin Shaman. All right, so let's just jump right into it. The first cause of chronic acne that I'm going to talk with you about today is hormonal imbalances. Hormonal imbalances are super common in women, and coincidentally, chronic adult acne is much more common in women than it is in men. And this is one of the causes that I learned of my acne. If you have experienced chronic breakouts, usually severe breakouts, that could be blackheads, whiteheads, cystic breakouts around your jawline and your chin, your lower cheeks, like I have, then it's very likely that these are related to a hormone imbalance. So for women, there is, for men and women, there is a type of hormones called androgens. Testosterone is an androgen. And so men and women both have these hormones in their bodies at certain levels. And when there is too many of these hormones in a woman's body, it causes excess sebum production. That is, our skin produces too much oil. And when we have too much oil in our skin, we get clogged pores. It opens the way for bacteria to get in, and dirt and grime and pollution, and we get breakouts. So if you have experienced those chronic severe breakouts around your lower jaw and your chin, it's very likely that these are linked to excess androgens in the body. And this doesn't just happen. I mean, for some, this is like a very chronic, severe issue, like polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS. But for some, this just happens at certain times of our lives, like right before your period, when estrogen and progesterone are at their lowest, but androgens like testosterone are at their highest. That's why a lot of us break out right before our periods. It also happens during menopause, when women go through menopause, and at other points of our lives. So sometimes it is sort of a normal ebb and flow of hormones, but for some of us, it is more of a chronic issue. So if you notice yourself having these issues with your skin chronically, that might mean that you have elevated levels of androgens in your body, like testosterone, or conversely, it could just mean that you have low estrogen in your body. So once you sort of have that information that there's that imbalance going on, you can take action steps to sort of balance out those hormones. So the second thing that I'm going to talk about is stress. which, if you look up acne and you research adult acne, then you will see that for women, the two most common sort of root causes behind adult acne or chronic breakouts is going to be hormones and stress. And we all know that there are like those very obvious symptoms of stress, or those very obvious sources of stress, like if you're not getting enough sleep, if you're, overworked, burnt out, and this can happen from like your job, from work, or maybe from raising kids, or whatever obvious stressors there are in your life, those external stressors. But I really like to focus on the other side of stress. And I don't even call it stress, actually. They don't call me the skin shaman for nothing. I, believe in the skin-spirit connection. So I really like to focus, or I like to call stress an unsettled spirit. And what I mean by that is that there are less obvious sources of stress in our lives that come from an internal source, not from outside of ourselves. And these internal sources of stress that put a lot of stress on our bodies and our minds and our spirits are not always as obvious. And in fact, sometimes they happen subconsciously. Sometimes they are really buried deep within us. But these are things like childhood trauma, addictions, loneliness, feelings of isolation, chronic anxiety, depression, low self-esteem, low self-worth. These sorts of things, while they feel like unrelated to your skin, they actually are super related to your skin. And I will get, a lot deeper into this topic in a future video. But particularly with feelings of isolation, if you feel disconnected from humanity, disconnected from source, whatever you believe that source to be, then it's very likely that you experience symptoms in your skin, or perhaps even in your skeletal or muscular systems. But since we're talking about acne today, if you experience chronic breakouts, and these could be, there's no specific place that these breakouts occur, but if you experience chronic breakouts and it seems like nothing is working, if you've changed your diet, if you have worked on balancing your hormones, if you have done all of these things and you're still experiencing them, or if you've kept your sort of stress levels low with your external stressors, like work isn't too stressful and all of that stuff, those obvious sort of avenues have already been my dog is right down here. He's trying to get my attention. So if you have already sort of addressed these other parts of the issue, then I really encourage you to look at sort of your unsettled spirit, or perhaps your unsettled spirit, and to ask yourself, how is my spirit doing? What am I holding on to? How can I be gentler with myself and my spirit today? How can I get connected with a power greater than myself? All of these are things that you can ask yourself and sort of see what's really going on beneath the surface, because it might be much deeper than you think. And honestly, sometimes the things that cause true stress, like the stress that is not only physical but mental and spiritual, sometimes those things are really hard and painful to look at. So it's a process, of course, but I encourage you to ask yourself those questions, because it might be contributing to your skin, and among so many other issues that manifest physically. So that's that. The third cause of chronic breakouts for adults is a lack of certain fatty acids. So, this is kind of like that question, did the chicken come first or the egg? Did the acne come, you know what? Maybe it's not like that question at all, but we're just going to go with it. But what I mean by lack of certain fatty acids is that, as I have mentioned before, our skin naturally produces sebum, which is our skin's natural oil. And that sebum is made up of different fatty acids, of squalene, of a little bit of cholesterol, of wax, esters, right? It's composed of all of these things, and it's a healthy thing. Our skin needs it; it protects your skin. But for acne-prone individuals, our skin overproduces sebum, and like I've mentioned, it might have to do with a hormone imbalance or other imbalances that we will get to. But our sebum, not only does our skin overproduce sebum, but our sebum lacks certain fatty acids. In fact, it lacks a particular type of fatty acid called linoleic acid, which actually is the type of fatty acid that keeps our sebum lightweight and malleable and non-pore clogging. So when our sebum lacks linoleic acid, our sebum is sticky, it's harder, it clogs our pores, and of course that leads to breakouts. So it's very likely that if you have acne-prone skin, or even just oily skin, that your skin lacks or the sebum from your skin lacks linoleic acid. And luckily you can supplement that topically through your skincare. One of the products that I love to use to do that is Wabi-Sabi Botanicals Balancing Act Serum. It is chock full of linoleic acid. I literally named it Balancing Act because it is intended to balance out the composition of your sebum, to balance out sebum production. So it's really amazing for that, and such an easy way to address that issue. So number 4 in the common causes of chronic breakouts is inflammation in the gut or an inflammatory diet. Some would say that acne is not even a skin issue, it is an inflammation issue, and that inflammation generally starts in our guts. So the food we eat can either contribute to and fuel inflammation in our guts, or it can help to heal it and create a really balanced, healthy ecosystem in our guts. So what you want to do is you just want to take a look at what you're eating. You don't have to make any dramatic or drastic changes overnight, but just start to look at what you're eating and to pay attention to when your skin is breaking out. And the sort of most common causes of chronic inflammation in the gut are going to be really heavily processed foods or high glycemic foods like processed sugar, processed carbohydrates. Also dairy, there's a direct link between dairy and breakouts. So just start to pay attention to what you're eating and when your breakouts happen, when they sort of pop up, because specific food-related breakouts are going to show up 48 to 72 hours after you consume the food. And they're usually going to show up on your cheeks, on your chin, and so it's just something to start to notice and be aware of, because the food you eat could be contributing to or causing your acne. So the next thing we're going to talk about is probably not the primary or root cause of your acne, but it could definitely be contributing to it, and that is the products that you're using. Most skincare products, or many skincare ingredients, I should say, are rated on a comedogenic scale of 0 to 5. And the comedogenic scale essentially measures how likely it is that an ingredient is going to clog your pores, which, as we've already talked about, the last thing you want if you have acne-prone skin is skincare that clogs your pores or makeup that clogs your pores. So it's just really important to sort of be aware of the ingredients in your products and to choose products that have non-comedogenic ingredients. That is, ingredients that are rated from a 0 to a 2 on the scale, and even 2s might be a little iffy for some of us with really sensitive skin. So a few of the most common natural ingredients that you want to avoid if you have acne-prone skin are going to be coconut oil, cocoa butter, algae extract is really it's rated a 5, so it's really bad for us with acne-prone skin. Carrot seed oil, palm oil, as if we needed another reason not to use palm oil. And so you just want to be aware of the ingredients that you're using and try to look for ingredients, just really simple formulas that are going to be using ingredients that are high in linoleic acid. That is, plant oils that are high in linoleic acid, like the Balancing Act serum that I talked about, because these are going to be non-comedogenic, so they're not going to clog your pores. The last thing on the list is, again, related to your skincare. So it's probably not the root cause of your chronic breakouts, but it could definitely be contributing. Ironically, a lot of acne-prone skincare is really harsh and drying, but acne-prone skin is sensitive skin, so you should always treat it like sensitive skin, and that means that you want to use products that are super gentle and nourishing and loving. I recommend using really simple, beautiful formulas that have high quality ingredients. Certain types of products are going to be more more likely to break you out, like drying cleansers. I actually wrote a whole post on oil cleansing and why it's so much better than conventional cleansing, which I will leave the link for that in the description below. But your cleanser could be really drying you out, or over cleansing more than once or twice a day could be drying you out. Using harsh exfoliators or harsh exfoliating acids, or even products that are just really heavy with essential oils. So, just know that not all skincare is created for sensitive skin. In fact, most of it's not. And so you want to choose products that are really going to be friendly and just gentle and nourishing for your skin, and not exacerbate or worsen your acne. So that is it today. I hope you have enjoyed this and found this really helpful. Maybe you learned something new. I would love to hear from you in the comments below if any of these resonate with you, or if you identify with any of them. I'm really excited to bring you new content on how to heal your acne holistically in the coming weeks. But until then, you are beautiful, you are worthy, and you are loved so deeply. I will see you next time.